Welcome everybody. My name is Steve Smith, and for our visitors here today, I'm a business coach. And one of the things that I do with business owners who are trying to take their business to a higher level is I help them take their energy and their resources and devote it right to the outcome that they're looking for. And most people that are in business for the long haul, somewhere along the line, they run off the rails a little bit, they get stuck, and they need somebody from the outside to help come in and kind of take a look at what they're doing and introduce them to some new ways that will get them moving forward again. So what I thought I'd do today is talk to you guys a little bit about some of my specialties and some of the lessons I've learned from the almost 300 businesses I've worked with now in the last 5 years. My specialties are basically helping to teach business owners how to lead their business. And whether that is managing or building teams, or even selecting people within their organization for leadership training so that they can help run that business, that's part of my specialty. If it's marketing, it's really helping people align themselves with the market that they can make money in and be able to talk to the right customers in a manner that attracts business as opposed to having to run around chasing people all the time. When you get into sales, that's a hugely misunderstood area. Most people that run businesses are actually afraid of it. They don't necessarily like to engage in it, and there are ways to teach people who don't want to sell how to be effective in the sales process. Because at the end of the day, if you can't sell what you have to offer, then you've really just got an expensive hobby. Finally, in today's world of high technology, you really need to be able to use as many things as possible to automate your business and get the business to run more fluently so you're not having to have your hands on the wheel, pulling knobs and pushing buttons and things of that nature. So those are the kind of things that I do. The reason I tell people that is because when you hear about a business coach, typically you think about people in the traditional mode that, that they guide you, they hold you accountable, they do a little rah-rah every couple of weeks on the phone. Well, that's part of the process, but the bigger part of mine is actually helping you get insights into what you're doing so that you can learn and continue that learning as you go forward. Because eventually you're going to fly on your own, and that's my goal, is to get you to fly on your own, to learn the right things, and to keep moving your business forward. One of the things that I've learned in this group is that we like to give people real specific examples of the kind of businesses that we work with. My list of business types is pretty long. So what I thought I would do, rather than tell you a specific business like an accounting firm or a law firm or something like that, which I've had experience with, I thought what I'd do is I'd give you some lessons that I've learned, some things that I've seen, so in hopes that if you're talking to a friend, a family member, a client, or a colleague that doesn't seem to be having a good time with their business, that you can listen to some of these things and figure out where they are and how you should approach them in terms of introducing them to me. So here's 5 things that I've learned that I find almost universal, whether it's businesses here in the US or many of the businesses I've worked with overseas. They all seem to have the same kind of origin of problems before I start working with them. The first one is, when it comes to addressing problems, they tend to want to wait for the solution to show up as opposed to going after it. The longer you wait, the more costly the solution is going to be. And it's that way for 2 reasons. One, it's all the opportunity cost, the money you could be making if you were actually engaged in that solution, as opposed to sitting around and waiting for things to change around you. Sometimes people can give away huge amounts of revenue opportunity because they simply don't act fast enough. The other issue is really up here. The longer you sit and live with a problem you don't like, the more it becomes comfortable to you. You still may not like the outcome, but you're willing to live with it. And once you get around to figuring that the change is really you, the things you have to do in your business to move them forward, that's where the rubber hits the road. And that's where you have to really start engaging. And if you've been in a stagnant business for a while, that can be a tough thing to turn around. So that's number 1. Number 2 is setting goals that are too low. Trying to meet a basic level of operation that you can actually handle. And what happens is you meet the goals and you don't meet the end objective you're trying to do, like creating enough revenue to operate your business. Being able to build a business so you can actually get away from it from time to time. So shooting too low can be a major problem. Shooting high doesn't cost any more. It just means that even if you miss that goal, you're farther ahead than if you settled for less. It's what we call having a limited mindset. Number 3 is neglecting business fundamentals because you're too much in a hurry to try to get to the end goal that you're trying to reach. One of the things that I tell people is Passion fuels, but process rules. And that's really talking about getting into the fundamentals of running the business you have as opposed to providing the product or service and knowing exactly what to do and when to do it. Because at the end, your business is where it is today because of everything you know and everything you've done up until that point. And sometimes it means learning new things and kind of getting out of that comfort zone. Which brings me to number 4, which is avoiding uncertainty. Some people will basically stay away and completely move away from any real opportunity because it means causing them to get into, kind of get outside their box, kind of get into areas of uncertainty. Risk is definitely out there, but all the opportunity that you need to really grow your business is also out there. So you need to learn to love and embrace uncertainty. All right? Number 5 has to do with vetting the business model that you have. And what that basically means is it might look good, manageable, and profitable when you're selling 1 or 2 items or you have 1 or 2 clients. What happens when you get to 100? Is it going to be the same business? Is it going to be something you can manage, something you can keep control over, something you can operate without completely crashing and burning? Most people that I work with at some point in time haven't really taken a look at the model that supports their business, and that's where they're running in trouble. So if any of you are working with or know people running businesses who have one of those 5 problems, believe me when I tell you, they don't go away on their own. They usually only go away when you start realizing that if you want more out of your business, you may have to bring someone in from the outside to help you get there. So I hope that gives you some ideas and some things to think about. I'd love to talk to people that you know. One of the things I do is I offer a free consultation. And believe me when I tell you, it is free. Sometimes I've spent an hour and 15 minutes with people on the phone just helping them understand what it is they need to move forward with without any expectation that they're going to hire me. I'm really more interested in getting them to start thinking a little more broadly about what they're doing so that they can make a good decision going forward. So if you know anybody in that position, I'd be more than happy to talk with them. Again, it's not a sales call, it's what I call a strategy session. Thank you for your time.